Hey everybody, Jeff B. Reached my channel. We got a fun video today. What we're going to do is spice up the pond a little bit. It's really settling in, looking just the way I want it to, or at least, for its progression anyway. But I want to drop out the background behind the pond. My rose project is, I don't know how to keep roses. So while I'm working on that, I don't necessarily want to be assaulted by them visually while I'm looking at my pond. So I went ahead and got a background for a pond. What? A background for a pond? Yeah, you can do that. Got a background pond, and I'm going to do something a little, add a little kind of trippy focal point to the pond to kind of draw the eye away from the immovable backgrounds. So stick with me. I'm going to take you step by step. Not terribly complicated, and you've probably seen it before, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Yes, yeah. And I got my helpers today. I'm taking co-parenting to a whole new level. This is Missy and Socks. They're going to be joining us on our little adventure. First thing we got to do is build the foundation. What I'm going to do is invert this 90-gallon or something aquarium that I had in the room. And fill it full of water, give it that loft thing. And then I want to put a background on this thing. And what I'm going to use is this Hampton Bay reed fencing. A little lighter than I had hoped for, but that's sort of what they had, and I'm just going to run with it. It is not meant to be forever, but just enough so that when I till I get my rose game back. So this is me dragging this 90 across the yard on a bodyboard. If you're calling it a boogie board, you're stuck in some other age. It's a bodyboard. So at any rate, it's still a good sled. Helps me get it across the way, and I can do it without having to wait for my kid to get here and help me. Wash it out. Super simple stuff. And then it's just a matter of hoisting this big monster into the tank there. I want to just do a double measure to make sure that I have the length right. I want to have the bricks as outwardly resting as possible to give the fish and bash the biggest doorway in and out of that thing. Just in case they get spooked. You don't want to have someone trying to push real hard through a real slim door made out of raw concrete. Can be scratchy. So that's all I'm doing is make an adjustment to those bricks, and then we're going to hoist this monster up. Not a huge deal. There's no way I'm going to be able to deal with the weight of this thing from the outside. So this is me stepping my ass into my pond. One leg, yeah, guess we'll do both legs. Got to do what you got to do. This is relatively heavy, but not too big a deal. If it was not going to make it, I wouldn't have tried it. And then without panicking, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse my legs off because you never know, bacteria and all. So, so the progress is going pretty good. It's kicking my ass. I'll tell you that much. If I had a shop vac, like a wet dry vac, this would be no problem removing. But I don't. So luckily, I found a bike pump or some kind of weird tent pump or something, and I put it on the reverse, so it's sucking, which was fine in the beginning. I got it up that far. But the realization is that once you get higher, you're trying to lift more water with this air. So this is going to be quite a workout. It's fucking hilarious. This is also sort of DIY, like you just sort of do what you got to do, right? Because I'm not going to go buy a shop vac just to get this water up. So it's pretty ghetto. It's pretty funny, but it is what it is. So that fun bit there I actually did in 2 takes. That was the second. In the first one, I said, I'm going to go ahead and suck the last 5 inches manually, which I then realized sounded horrible. But, in retrospect, that's really funny. So there you go. That's a freebie on me. So now I'm just going to go ahead and rearrange some of this shit. I would like to have some wood sticking up out of the top of the water for a couple different purposes. I'd like to see if I can grow some plant off of the wood, or at some point in the lifetime of this pond, I envision there being some archer fish, and I'd love for them to be able to live naturally and shoot bugs off of stems and wood and things of that nature. So that's just sort of two concepts I had with wanting the wood to stick up a little bit. Next, what we're going to do is try and get this reed fencing wrapped around the pond. And really all I have to do is make sure I stay on the interior of the brick and the pump. To do that, I'm just going to detach the inlet and outlet from the pump and from the outlet overflow. And that's just about it. Placed my bricks. I had some little clips that I went ahead and clipped the top corners to provide a little bit more anchoring just in case the wind starts a blowing, which it's going to do. All I'm going to do at this point is take some wire clippers and clip my way through a little bit of the reed portion, where I am then going to stick the inlet and or outlet hosing and reattach it to the pump and the overflow. Just a seamless look. I don't want to have the thing trying to run up and under and all this other stuff. And also having the hose run through there provides maybe just a little bit more anchoring. Not a lot, but just something to substantiate the fact that I don't want it to move. Hopefully it works. During the filming of this, the wind did kick up a little bit, which gave me some confidence that at least under moderate wind and breeze, this thing's going to hold. Again, it's a reed fence that I spent 20 or 38 bucks on. I don't expect it to last forever, but I need a little bit more shade, and I don't want to look at the roses until I figure out how to keep roses really nice. And that's really what's going on with this. I went ahead and placed some fake turf that I had for a different aquarium project on top of the tank because I want to go ahead and put some stuff on top of there to further garnish this. I put a little pot of aloe down on the left-hand corner just to cover the brick a bit. That's just detail. That's little garnish stuff. I'm really stoked on this. I don't have to look at the roses until they're ready. I'm not worried about the permanence of this because, again, I've got the lilikoi that's going to grow up in over the top of everything to give it the shade I want. My green water is fully pronounced right now, which, again, I don't really care about. But the UV light is running. The shade is on its way. We're going to see how that has an effect on it. Once the azolla grows in, that green water goes away just naturally because there's not as much light, and obviously the azolla is eating more of the nutrient. But I yanked a bunch of the azolla out, and every time I do it, this is what happens. I really don't sweat it because the fact is it'll correct itself naturally. Guys, this was fun to share with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying the progression of this pond, and I look forward to showing you the rest of the stuff in the house shortly. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.